But JavaScript object notation is a simple way to represent JavaScript objects as strings. It's an alternative to XML, and it's a lot faster and thinner than XML, so I prefer it. It's gained acclaim due to its simple format, making objects easy to read, create, and parse, and it's also a lot faster. That's what I really like about it. Each JSON object is a list of property names in curly braces. It's called JavaScript object notation because these notations that we're creating that are stringified can be converted into real JavaScript memory very easily. And we'll get into that a little bit more later on. I wouldn't worry about it right now. So, for example, JavaScript object array, this looks like an array of objects. We haven't really gotten into that yet, but that's what it is. And it's very simple. It's a very straightforward way to manipulate objects in JavaScript, and many other programming languages now support this format. In addition to simplifying object creation, JSON allows the program to easily extract data and efficiently transmit it across the internet. When we get into those stuff and web programming, web application program client server, we'll see JSON used a lot more. So for right now, I wouldn't worry too much about it. All right. Now, someone said they wanted to see the split method. Was it the split method used to create a list? Did I remember that correctly? Okay. Not too difficult to do that. I'll put in. Okay, so we're going to get rid of text here. Instead, I'm just going to make this a p tag. So the next thing we want to do ordered list. Well, if I'm not mistaken, I think that'll do it. Let's see. Okay. Didn't like something there. And there's no good debugger on it, so let's try Firefox. From Firefox, it's a long to open. Okay, we got Firefox here. See if Firefox is a little bit better. Doesn't work, and I think the reason is it's just got a button there somewhere. That's a error result. Actually, let's just do that. Error console. Split button pressed is not defined. Split button pressed is not defined. Something like that. Looks like I got an extra character in there. Why the heck did we do that? That part worked. Alright, not sure that didn't work. Okay, so that's produced just one entry. Mary, you're splitting the thing based on a space, so definitely should have given us more than that. There it is. We already had a little lamb. That looks fine. Line item. OL is an ordered list. Ordered list, line item. Doesn't seem to be causing an error or working. Wait, when that happens. I wonder if it's the fact that I don't have a closed P tag on this. Let's try that. It should work. Make it a div instead of a that, but I don't think it matters. Output. I don't know why it's not putting it in there. Output. Let's equal. OL is an ordered list. Line item for each one. Then you close the ordered list. Well, folks, I'm not really sure why it's not working. It should work. Huh. It generates the ordered list, which looks fine to me. Put the div somewhere else. Make it. I'm going to dump down. This should work. should work. Get element by ID, output as value. Oh, dot inner HTML. That's why it didn't work. Staring me in the face the entire time. Ta-da! There it is. Stupidest little things. So that's how you do it. Inner HTML, so input tags have a text. So, but I replaced the text area with just an area, a div or a tag, a normal tag that's really output only. So these read-only, output-only type tags, they don't have a text property. What they have is an inner HTML. And what that means is that's the HTML that's inside, that's between the open tag and the close tag. So it just puts that HTML right there. That's inner HTML. Right? So this ordered list was essentially inserted right here. That's where your inner HTML would be. So we can even put it in here, inner HTML. That's the inner HTML. If I refresh this, it says inner HTML, and I click split, that inner HTML is replaced with what I just created. I'm not sure what you mean by 11 examples. We're going to see inner HTML more, because we're going to see a lot more of this when we get into Web 2.0 stuff a little bit later on. Right, I finally got it to work. It's always the silliest things. What about my syllabus for Chapter 11? Oh, do you want me to upload this example? Is that what you're saying? Al? Oh, yes, I'll upload it. Any other questions? Can you please update the slides for tonight? Yeah. Oh, you mean the YouTube, or the slides are updated? The most current slides should be there. There should be the most updated slides. Should be there. I put them there just before the class, so you might not have seen them there earlier. Okay, it should be there now, Hal. Yeah, I know it says chapter 11.pdf. I just didn't change the name, but it is the latest slides. What's there is the latest slides. Yeah, the naming is different, but it is the most current slide. Sorry about that. Any other questions? There were a couple of other examples here that I don't think we looked at, and they had to do with... Oh, yeah, we didn't talk about this. We will talk about this, though. Creating child windows. I don't know if this is actually going to come into a future chapter. I can't imagine they just cut this out. Where you basically can control a child window. Like that. Oh, he wants it to be. See, I've got one page controlling another web page. So that was something there. We created a child window, modify the child window. We can close the child window. Should cause that page to close. Yes, there it goes. So this was another example that we had. It gets some properties as to whether you want it to have title bars or not. And creating another window is fairly simple. You say child, you have to create a global variable to represent that child window, which we do up here for our child window. And then you just say child window equals window.open, and it opens a blank window. Those are the pages, so they're completely blank. And it takes the whether it should have a scroll bar, a menu bar, and a toolbar from these settings here. And I can get rid of them as well. It enables those other buttons so that when you say set the URL, it's very simple to do. It says child window.location becomes whatever I pass into it. So, for example, I can create the child window. It's blank. And I can come in here and I can say, okay, set the URL. And it sets the URL for that window. And that's basically all done by having it has to be a global variable because you're going between functions. So it's got to be a global variable. And depending upon whether you can control these settings as well. And of course you can close it. Closing it is fairly simple. You just say child window.close. So there it is. If I come over here, I can say close child window, and it closes it. This is kind of important because you'll see this a lot. Actually, this is the way pop-ups are done. Everyone knows what a pop-up is and how nasty they are. This is how pop-ups are done. There's one example we didn't. I don't know if they moved it to the next chapter. They're just not going to show it. Oh, this is a cookie example here. It's got those if statements about the time. We saw that in an earlier example. The document.cookie, if there's a cookie, it gets that cookie. And then it's got to split it based on an equal sign and get the value out of the cookie. Yeah, basically local storage replaced cookies. Or the idea is that it'll replace cookies. It hasn't quite replaced cookies yet.